Sometimes even that method doesn't work, okay? So sometimes you want to change it from logarithmic to exponential and back and forth, okay? So when I look at this problem, the first thing I want to do is make it a single log over here. Now we're dealing with if it's a logarithmic equation to begin with. We dealt with if it's exponential, okay? So this becomes the log base 2, and because those are added, I'm going to multiply them. Anytime the x that you're looking for is inside the log, you want to condense it to a single log or a log on each side, and then you want to simplify. And in this case, I'm going to change this from logarithmic to exponential. Gosh darn. Okay? So this becomes 2 to the third equals x times x minus 7. So 8 equals x squared minus 7x. I'm going to subtract my 8 from both sides, so I can set this equal to 0 and solve this quadratic equation. So I can solve it by factoring or the quadratic formula. Factors of 8 that subtract to 7 would be 1 and 8. And because I want a negative 7, a negative 8, and a positive 1, set each one equal to 0 and solve it for x. Now, anytime you start with a logarithmic equation, you have to remember at the beginning of this chapter, you can't find the log of a negative number, okay? So if I plug negative 1 back up there, I have the log base 2 of negative 1 plus the log base 2 of negative 1 minus 7. I can't do that, so I have to reject. Let's check my 8. Log base 2 of 8, okay, that's positive, so I can do that. Log base 2 of 8 minus 7 is positive, and I can do that. So my answer becomes 8. Let's do another one. Now in this case, you'll notice on the left, I have 2 natural logs, so I'm going to combine them into 1. And since they're subtracted, I need to divide them. Okay. Now in this case, you notice how I have a natural log on both sides? If I have a log on both sides that's the same, I can say what's inside the log equals what's inside the log, and in this case, I can cross multiply. Distribute my x. Now to solve this, I need to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract my 4x and subtract my 3 to move them over to the left side. So now I have x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Factors of 3 that subtract to 2 would be 3 and 1. A negative 3, positive 1, so that I get the negative 2. Set each one equal to 0. And I get 3. And I get negative 1. Now if I put a negative 1 up here on the left, right, just this side is all I have. I just have to look at one side. And then if it's a positive, I need to look at the other. That gives me a negative 1, and I can't do it. So I can do the natural log of 1 over 3. That's positive. And then I can do the natural log of 3 plus 2 and 4 times 3 plus 3. Those are both positive. So my only answer here is 3. Okay? Now in this case, we're using the formula that we used before for finding how much you've earned on an investment. Okay? Oh, sorry. So we start with 25,000. We want it to grow to 500,000. So 500,000 is your A, and 25,000 is what you started with. That's how much you invested. Your rate is 9%, but remember to change that to a decimal. Monthly means 12 times, and we don't know T. Okay, so the first thing is move this 25,000 to the other side. Okay, what is 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12? So now I have 20 equals 1.0075 to the 12t. I can't simplify and make those the same base, so I'm going to do the log of both sides. My exponent, remember, comes in front. If I want t by itself, I need to divide both sides by 12 and the log of 0.10075. When you punch this in your calculator, be careful because you need to make sure you put parentheses around the bottom so that it does that whole piece together. So you need to go log, and it automatically opens a parenthesis, 20 and close, divided by, open the parenthesis right after your division, and do 12 log 1.0075, close the log, close the denominator, so you have 2 parentheses. So it's approximately 33 years. And that ends the lecture for 4.4.